Good afternoon, traders. This is Michael James with Uncharted Profits Daily. We've got another fantastic trade set up for you this afternoon, this time on CrowdStrike Holdings, symbol CRWD, which just closed above its minor bearish trend this afternoon, which you can find by tracing the stock's recent highs, starting at the swing high here, connecting as many highs as you can on the way down. Obviously, CRWD closed above that trend line today, giving us an indication that this may be a good bullish opportunity. But before I get into the specifics as to why this is such a nice bullish continuation setup, I do want to share a quick tip with you on how to discern deliberate market behavior during times of choppiness. And so what I do when I'm looking at a new setup, even if it looks otherwise like a good setup and it passes all of our requirements from our trading methodology, there may be stocks where they start to chop sideways and trade indeliberately, telling us to go away. Now, determining what is and isn't deliberate movement is kind of subjective. Basically, a stock has to pass the eye test for me to see whether or not I should trade it. In order to help myself figure out what deliberate movement is, though, I like to use the 3-day simple moving average to do that. And so you can do it too. So on the chart here, I'm going to turn it on now. It's a red line running up and down. This one right here along my cursor. That is the 3 SMA. And really what I want to see is the 3 SMA staying above the 10 SMA, this purple line here, for a long period of time. I don't have a set number on this. Simply, I don't want to see the 3 SMA bouncing up and down, crossing the 10 SMA several times on the way up. To me, that's an indeliberate market. You will not see that happen usually in big uptrends like this one for CrowdStrike. We can zoom it out here. CrowdStrike stayed above the 10 for a long time. Prior to that upswing, it remained below the 10 for a while during this small correction, flipped above it, and now most recently it's crossed back below the 10, and that's okay when looking at bullish continuation trades, because when you get the bullish continuation, it's following a slight sell-off or a failed sell-off. And so here we've got a cross below the 10 from the 3, and if we get filled on a long trade here, it's going to rise above it again and likely stay above the 10 for a long time. So really, what I was looking for was a period prior to the trade where the 3 SMA remained above the 10 SMA for enough days, for a long time, several weeks. In this case, it certainly did. And so if I turn this off, though, you can see this might scare traders away. Otherwise, it would scare me away if I didn't have the 3 SMA to help me out. But with it, helps clarify things, makes it look a little bit more like it's a good idea to take this trade, and I think it eventually will be once CrowdStrike takes out today's high and continues to rise. All right, one last thing before we look at the rest of what makes this stock so attractive to bulls. I want to remind you that the methodology used here is the same methodology I use to make my Uncharted Profits Daily alert picks, which are sent out every afternoon after the market closes. To receive those alerts, all you have to do is click the link in the description of this video, and it'll take you to this website. Click this button, hand-delivered free daily trade alerts. Fill out this information, first name, email, phone. You don't have to put your phone if you don't want to. And then click Get Free Alerts Now, and you'll have an alert waiting for you next time the market closes. Okay, so back to CrowdStrike here. So CrowdStrike closed above this trend line today, like we said, closed barely above the 10-day moving average, which is nice, not necessary, but in this case, it's certainly helpful. And it is trading above the 20-day moving average, which is key when looking at bullish continuation trades. CrowdStrike also set a higher low this is a kind of a weird candle, this June 1st candle. It's an ultra-wide candle. We're far enough away from it here where I think it's okay to take this trade, but the low here relative to this low down here from May 3rd is certainly a higher low, and CrowdStrike also rallied significantly. This was a big move for the stock, about 40% higher. That's a huge move, and I really like only taking bullish continuation trades in stocks that have already surged. I know that might seem kind of counterintuitive, or that seems like it wouldn't make much sense, but the more a stock moves prior to a sell-off, the higher the chance I've found that it continues rising enough to generate a nice profit before getting out, and the stock eventually turns lower. And so CrowdStrike certainly satisfied that condition today. Finally, the stochastic indicator here is reading at 45.39, which is beautiful. I like to see readings below 60 for bullish continuation trades, as that means the stock usually has enough ammunition and momentum to get past resistance here at the recent high. A reading above 60 suggests that it might run out of steam here and hit overbought territory around the same time it encounters resistance, which is bad news for bulls trying to take a continuation trade. And so those are all great reasons why you may want to consider a bullish trade on this stock if it takes out today's high by a significant amount. Now, if you'd like to receive additional Uncharted Profits Daily alerts sent directly to your email along with specific entry price recommendations, just click the link in the description of this video. I'll take you to this page here. Click this button, fill out this information, and click Get Free Alerts Now. I send these out every day the markets are open with my #1 trade alert for the day. All right, I hope you enjoyed the setup here on CrowdStrike today. It's a good-looking trade, and it could potentially have a lot more room to run, considering that the stochastic indicator is still reading so low at 45.39. This has been Michael James. I'll see you all next time. Good trading.